Hello. Hello. It has been a minute since I've just sat and recorded a video. I've got a couple things on my mind and just a personal recent experience that I kind of want to share. And I wouldn't even say experience, I would just say realization, or ChatGPT would say paradigm shift, right? Um, but it's about really living in the present moment. And it's something I find that my peers and myself especially just don't take advantage of and don't do to the full capacity that we have. So, what kind of led me to this um, realization is three things. Now, first was a podcast I was listening to of the CEO, a diary of a CEO. If you've never listened to it, it doesn't matter. It's just he interviewed this lady who was hit with a stroke and forgot how to speak and talk, and she's like a neurosurgeon or whatever. She just studies the brain and body, and is very fascinated. But while I was listening to this, it kind of made me realize, she was like, we're so lucky to even have uh, I know I got my mic, so I hope the wind's not blowing, but we're so lucky to even be alive. We beat the odds to even be alive. So why shouldn't we enjoy to the fullest capacity our life and just be so thankful? And that brings me to my next point. One of my best friends, he was like, we were going for a walk. It was a nice day. I think it was Saturday morning. We were with his dog, and he was like, it'll all work out. And if you could just be three times as thankful as you are now, your life will change so much. Um, and it's so true. We don't realize how lucky we are to even be existing. Uh, and life's gonna play out the way it does, but just being thankful for life and the opportunity to live is something that everyone underestimates, and not underestimates, but underappreciates. So thank you, G, for really saying that. That hit, you know. Um, and then the other couple things was I wanted to mention was a poker game that I had, and I don't play poker. It was nice to just be in the moment and with friends and talking, but that kind of brings me to where I'm talking about the present moment. When you're playing games or doing something fun, you know, as they say, time flies when you're having fun. But really, when we're not, enjoying activities or doing anything, or we're doing nothing, like whatever it is, scrolling, just, passing time by in your day, we kind of go into an autopilot moment where, we're just completing the actions of the day. We're not actively filling our lungs with air, a gift that God gave us to breathe and enjoy and live. Not to cherish every second. I'm not saying, whatever, every second is the most important second. I'm just saying, if we were three times as thankful as we are now, we would just enjoy life a lot more. And during that poker game, I was just enjoying myself. Eh, I don't know why. I don't know really why I wrote that down. Um, and then there was a movie I saw, Tron Ares. And during that Tron Ares movie, it's about basically AI Tron, who lives in digital world, keeps being summoned into the real world, and he experiences rain, and that kind of changes his perception. He's like, wow, feel I feel something, because in the digital world there is no feelings. You can't feel air, you can't feel time, you can't feel, because it's just digital. um, so it's kind of crazy to think that, in a couple ways it's crazy to think that sorry, the wind's blowing, that we are experiencing life at this moment. And it also put into perspective, what if when we created the first internet or digital whatever not cell phone, but like I guess internet. What if we created like another civilization? What if that's like how it is? I'm not saying AI specifically, but it's kind of crazy to think. And it also, in the movie, they go back to like the 80s Tron, which is kind of cool. Um, and it just shows how technology and time evolves in the same way humans do. Now, speaking of evolving, humans used to be hunters, gatherers, right? The men used to go out hunt, whatever. The women stayed with the tribe, and of course, as you got older, you became like not the dictionary, but like you were the wise one. So you gave advice to the young people, no matter who it was, and you just knew a lot more. Um, and so over time, it's still similar, but it's very, very different. The young people, what do we have to fear about? There's nothing that's like we fear cold winters and dying. Like there's nothing that is actually life threatening and really fearful to us. So what do we choose to focus our fear on and worry? We tend to distract ourselves, and the whole reason I'm saying this is I think anxiety and whatever depression is so common because it's self-induced, because we have nothing to worry about, that we create things that don't matter to worry and think about. Covering the mic. And I also think we think too much. And I know for sure I think way too much. I don't know why. I used to think I was an overthinker, right? But all I realized is I wasn't living in the present moment. I was thinking about another moment or timeline or universe or whatever I was thinking about. And I used to, I used to think that if you thought about something in your mind and it was like a scenario, it had happened in an alternate universe. Just a cool theory. Kind of interesting, right? Like you were the superhero in another universe, but that's besides the point. You're not thinking in the present moment. And then your next question is, how do you live in the present moment? Just breathe and be here. We have senses. We have, I don't know, what is like six senses, five senses, and all of them are extraordinary. And if you don't use them to the full capacity and you just use them, and we're pretty sexy machines. Like we are machines that are sexy as hell. As a human society, not what, not society, fucking organization. Not what the hell am I? Oh, species. As a human species, we are very sexy. And then the other thing I wanted to say was the amount of time you spend on a screen doesn't count in reality. It counts as its own entity. If you think of screen time as its own entity, then how much time are you really spending in reality, in the present moment? Try to be in the present moment on your phone. It's not possible. Yeah, that's all I had written. I was like, time in there is time in that world, not the present one in front of us. But that's pretty much all I wanted to hit. I hope you had a fantastic day. And just live in the present moment for one day. Try to take when you're thinking about something and you're feeling anxious or whatever you're feeling. If you realize, hey, I'm not in the present moment, take a deep breath. Just go. Pause for a sec, empty your lungs, and then take the biggest inhale. Hold it, and then take a slow exhale, and then hold it. And then, I mean, if you want to do it again, then you're a G. If you don't, that should be a good enough reset. It's like take a hit of air. You know what I mean? Take a hit of air, dude. Feel real for a sec. Peace out.